Morning, y'all. I'm about 1,400 yards down in the woods. We're gonna see if we can call us up a turkey today. These woods are mighty pretty. I seen 2 deer down in there. It's past hunting season. They come right up this hill right here and went up that way. So if there's deer in here, there's bound to be turkey. Sun's just now coming up. I'd say it's about 6:15 in the morning. About 6:15 in the morning. Got my old Winchester Model 12 with me. Holds a pretty tight pattern. Got a woodpecker hollering over here to my left, and I think it may be a sign that there's something coming through. We'll just wait and find out. Just sitting in the same spot for about 2 hours now. Decided I'm gonna get up and move on down to another spot. Wind's starting to kick up. It's rolling in right at about 8 o'clock. I'm following a trail down here at the bottom. There's a flowing branch of some sort down in here. We'll see if I can get down there close to it. See what I can see or hear. It's been a very beautiful morning. The wind didn't just start picking up till about 7:30. There's some nice trails down in here. Not a whole lot of overgrowth. I estimate this place was probably burned out last year sometime. It was a very open area, as you can see. Real pretty. As I suspected. There's a branch down here in the bottom. It's flowing pretty good. You shot a deer down in here, you'd never get him out. Unless you packed him out. I'm roughly probably now about 1,000 yards from the road. Sun's coming up. It's starting to make it a little bit warmer, but I seem to have lost my hunting shirt. So I'm gonna mosey on down this way right here to my right and see what I can find down in there. Heading back uphill. I'm gonna try a spot over here that I have seen sign at. I'd say it's probably about a half a mile. A little bit to my right, on top of that ridge over there. I found deer sign over there. I'll see what I can come up with. There's a big old den tree right there. That dead pine. The holes that are in it, squirrel dens. That thing's riddled with them. Won't be long before that thing comes down. One good hard wind, kind of like this one right here did. Of course now, when they burned all the undergrowth right here too, it probably didn't help matters. Now there is confirmed sightings of bears up here. I ain't seen any bear scat or any bear sign, but I don't put it past there being any mountain lions up here either. I ain't seen no clawed up trees, but that don't mean they ain't here. I'd say it ain't no more than 44 degrees right now, and it's right around 8:30. I'm gonna hang off a little bit off the side of this ridge right here. When I get up here to the top, I'll get out over it and overhang and look. Find me a good spot to sit down. This undergrowth is just not cover enough for them, I don't think. Last deer season, I did see deer coming right down out of the middle of this holler, come right up, walk right by me. It was a doe and a little one. Still had spots. So I don't I was sitting right over there under that pine tree, right in the middle of these two, that oak and that pine right there. I was sitting right there earlier. The one a little bit farther back. But it's nice and open right here. Step real soft. Might not even hear me come up. But I've gobbled and gobbled. Not had any luck. There was a full moon last night. Turkey don't come out at night. I don't know what's going on with all this. But earlier I seen something moving over here on this ridge. I don't know what it was. I couldn't make it out. But it was I could see it flashing in the sun, or whatever it was. You could see it move. Might have been deer walking through, I don't really know. There's some mighty fine oaks in here. There's something moving over here on the ridge to my right. We'll sit down right here against this oak tree and watch. Whatever was on that ridge must have meandered on off. There's several down trees over here in this area. Thick and brushy up in there. A lot of undergrowth from them hardwoods. I've seen a couple of scaly bark hickories, and there's some acorn trees, oak trees over here. This right here probably be a good spot to deer hunt this next season. I'm just not seeing any signs of turkey. Which most of the time down in here they're pretty eat up. It's pretty eat up with them. Starting to get warm enough for the bugs to come out. Bugs come out, you know you'll have snakes out. They'll be up on these rocks and these logs sunning. I don't have any snake chaps on, so something's been scraping right here. Looks like maybe turkey. Get up here by this big fallen log. Call a little bit. See if I can get any come up. It's open and green down in there. Maybe a little wash on that bank. Creek's down there in the bottom. But boy, that right there's some pretty spots. I wish y'all could just see what I can see. I'm not talking about through the through a computer screen or a phone screen. I'm talking about through your own eyes. I can see plumb all the way over that other ridge. In between them two oaks. It's just as open as can be down in there. Boy, it sure is pretty. I hunted. Been about 6 or 7 years ago now. I hunted on a ridge down over that way. Me and a real good buddy of mine. Split off and we went 2 different directions. There was deer sign all down in there. I think everything moved last night with the full moon. I don't see much of a sign of turkey. So, I'm gonna be meandering up through here, see what I can find. Alright. Hastings found a set of bear tracks this morning. I figured I'd come out here and had a friend of mine tell me that he's up here riding about 2 or 3 months ago and had something come out behind his Jeep. He says it was a dog man. I ain't never heard of a dog man before, but he said it was in this general area. Road is to my back. I've hunted over here in this area before, but he said it crossed right behind his Jeep. I'm just gonna go out here and something that big ought to leave tracks. So I'm gonna walk down through here and see if I can see anything, while I'm also looking for turkey. And maybe a coyote. Bugs is coming out. So snakes will be out too. So better be watching my step. Now whenever you're meandering through the woods, it's always good to stop and check out any kind of washes like that right there. Check, see if you can see any sign or any tracks in there. It don't look like there's been anything moving through here, but you can't never tell. So, like I said, I'm gonna mosey on through over here. I've hunted up on that ridge right there before, and that ridge drops over there where I came from earlier this morning. It's about 9:40. But just like I said, I've told everybody before, I've not seen everything in the woods, but I've seen a lot. And no werewolf looking type creature have I ever seen, but I'm not going to discount anything. There's an old deer track. I don't remember this hardwood bottom being this open. Of course, now it's been 7 or 8 years since I've been over here and hunted this. I've squirrel hunted it and I've deer hunted it. Come up with some strange sounds out in the woods. I imagine this right here is what Kentucky looked like when Daniel Boone crossed over the Cumberland Gap. Open pretty much like this, where the Indians done fire hunting. So the Indians would take and set fires on one side, and they'd set fire on another side and let it run together, and any of the animals that were escaping or trying to get away, well, they took them for their meat, dispatched them for their meat so they could survive. And I'll tell you what I just found right here, which I find very interesting. There's a den hole. Oh, there's a few acorns eat around it, but I don't see a whole lot, so I'm guessing this is probably for a raccoon. Raccoon den. I don't see any up in the tops of the trees, nesting on the limbs. I have come out here hunting before and found one asleep on the limb. Way off over in that general direction. But it's quite interesting how you can come through here, hunt one spot, 3-4 years later, it don't even look like the same spot. I'll tell you another thing that's real interesting too. You see this pine tree right here? These pine trees eat up with pine beetles. Copperheads like getting around pine trees. But you can see all the holes, that's for pine beetles. Won't be long. It's already dying, but it won't be long before that pine tree's dead, and all it's going to take is one good swift wind, and this big one right here is coming down. I can't even reach my hands around this one. See, copperheads, they blend in with the straw and everything around a pine tree, and they're real good at hiding. So always, especially when it gets starting to warm up and the sun's already hitting the ground over here, be very, very cautious and watch for snakes, because you can be right on one and not even see it. Copperheads like to eat dragonflies, and there's a lot of dragonflies flying around here, so be extra special cautious. Now, like I said, on my Facebook page, I'd really would like to be out here and see a bear while I'm hunting. Just to be able to see one, or say I seen one while I was hunting. I need to pull up a boundary line real quick because I don't see any markings on the sides of these trees. Oh, I'm actually heading right back over to where I just come from. Huh. Or in that general vicinity. This must be the same branch that runs down, snakes its way down to where I just came from. Up on this hillside right here may be where I was standing whenever when I was looking down into the bottom. There was a real green, grassy area down in there. Looked like it'd be a real good spot to deer hunt. It was pretty well open, like this right here is. Another thing you gotta watch out for, which they'll give you a little bit of warning before you get too close to them. That's rattlesnakes. Copperheads, they don't give no warning. Thought we got some signs of an armadillo. Boy, I like this spot though. This is beautiful. Wide open. It's walking right down the side of this ridge right here. Kind of hoping I'd see a coyote, but I ain't seen no coyote sign. I ain't seen no scat, but I imagine they're in here. There's woodpeckers. I see him over there. He just lit on the side of a tree. I'll get up a little bit higher on the edge of this ridge right here and see what I can see looking down in here. Good patch of white oak. Doesn't seem like it's too cumbersome of a walk. Another den hole. Squirrel. There's chewed acorns right here. So, tells me there's squirrels in here somewhere. I don't see them scampering across the ground, which wind started picking up about 7:30. So that could be the reason why they're not out. Wind starts blowing around here and they get real skittish. Oh, would you look at there? There's a halfway decent acorn still. Well, never mind. It's done rotted. Or starting to rot. Yeah, it's rotten. Well, this is gonna go on down through this holler right here. And we'll see what we can come up with here in just a few minutes if I can find something. Looks like there may be some scaly bark hickory trees up here. As soon as I run across one, I'll point it out to you. Part 2. I found quite a few game trails running down the side of this ridge. I've come probably 75, 80 yards. Just taking it real easy. Stepping real quiet. These woods are dead. There's no activity in them whatsoever. I'm not understanding that. Fine day like this right here. Acorns and everything else. You'd figure there'd be, well, there ain't no acorns up here. There goes the woodpecker. There goes another woodpecker. I mean, there's absolutely no activity whatsoever. I think that everything moved last night. And turkeys are probably on private land. With, it's got green fields. I don't rightly know. There's a lot of sign of activity here, but nothing real definite. Not for the last day or two, anyway. This little branch right here, a little wash. Down here on the other side. Let's look down here in the bottom and see if we can find any tracks. Water's running under the ground. I see some old tracks. There's water, there's a hole down here. You can't see it. It's covered up with leaves, but you can hear the water flowing underneath it, underneath me. I don't even see any tracks down in this wash where they've walked back and forth. There was that woodpecker again. This is that real green grassy area I seen up on that ridge over there earlier. It leads right down into that water flow into the creek. So this wash runs from up there down into the creek. I'd say not bad exploring for what little sign I found. Good woods, good woods. Might do better in the fall. I'm pretty good about swapping things up. There's a scaly bark. No, that's a grub oak. There's something moving over there in the trees. I can hear it walking. Sounds like it's snapping branches. But I don't see it. Whatever it was, it stopped. It must see me because I don't see it. Whatever it is. Something. There's a buzzard flying around above me. Another woodpecker. Places eat up with woodpeckers. I reckon I'm gonna mosey on down this way. Let's see if I can see anything else. I'm probably 600-700 yards away from the truck. So see what we can see down in this bottom. No tracks. That looks like it might have been an old logging road at one time. Or wagon road. Right directly in front of me. See how it's kind of sloped out right there? It's just about big enough for a wagon to fit through. Well, good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, I'll see y'all again. Y'all don't forget to like and follow my page on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll see y'all later. Y'all be careful and have a good week.